Good morning, all my fellow leaders. It is a pleasure to have you. My name is Kevin Schulteis, and in today's episode, you're in for a treat. You get to go through yet again one of my resolutions, and you get to join me on that journey. But it's not just my journey for myself, but it's going through resolutions that you guys might enjoy yourself and at the same time inspire you to be your own difference maker and go out there. The intro, and then I'll get right into it. So there we go. There's the intro. So there's a wonderful intro. So my whole resolution, so this is probably like day 4 or 5 or something of all my resolutions. And what you'll see is I'm going through a bunch of them. And I got the idea a long time ago when I started hanging out with this leadership group, and it's changed my life forever. So really good stuff, right? When you get around good people, whether by fluke or by choice, which hopefully you can go out of your way and find some good people, find a good mentor group and stuff like that, find some good leadership. I got good suggestions for you. If you want, you can jump in with the crew that I'm running with, and it's good stuff. Good, but there's a lot of other good systems out there, but I'm in a really good system. That being said, it was years ago when Orrin Woodward, the author of this book, I've met him a bunch of times. One time in one of the webcasts, he gave this amazing talk on resolutions, Ben Franklin's 13 resolutions, and then he went through his own 13. Brilliant. And those 13 eventually turned into this book, which is awesome. And it was right after that talk, before this book even came out, it was right after that talk that the following Saturday, I just could not, that whole week, I had a hard time sleeping because my brain was changing and stuff like that. And anytime you are on the cusp of doing great thinking and things like that, you might have a hard time sleeping, which is actually a good thing. I used to think that was really frustrating, but when your mind is racing and your mind is an amazing tool, God's just given you an amazing resource, and it works so much in the background for your either for or against you, which there's other books on that, which is really amazing. So your mind can actually work for or against you, but I want it to work for me. So you want to put the good resolutions in front of you all the time. So here, let me, that being said, great book. You can pick it up from the links below. I'm self-sponsored, so you can help me out by joining that, or pick it up from there, or pick it up from wherever. It don't matter. But here, let me read to you this quote from Confucius, I guess. Okay, I don't read much of his stuff, but I know he's written a few good quotes. But it says, "The ancients who wished to manifest their clear character to the world would first bring the order to their states. Those who wished to bring order to their states would first regulate their families. Those who wished to regulate their families would first cultivate their personal lives. Those who wished to cultivate their personal lives would first rectify their minds. Those who wished to rectify their minds would first make their wills sincere. Those who wished to make their wills sincere would first extend their knowledge." The extension of knowledge, right? So that's, I'd always usually stop with that. And actually, I would always kind of say, hey, change your actions, change your thinking, and then you got to think about thinking. That's the way I always told it. And then this is pretty interesting, where it talks about you got to rectify, you got to make your wills sincere, which basically you got to become passionate about something, right? And it's basically saying, how do you become passionate about something? Well, you first got to extend your knowledge. You got to read a bunch of good books. You got to, and not necessarily a one-way. You do got to get around a lot of good people and stuff like that, but it's not always a one-way. People telling you, talking heads, news broadcasts, and telling you things. Like, that's one-way entertainment. You gotta digest it yourself. So, anyways, how do you make your will sincere? You got to learn a lot. I was an adult, me no read, 27 years old, didn't read a single self-help book or anything like that. I'm a business owner, had a bunch of businesses fail, and no wonder why. I didn't read. Go figure. So you got to extend your knowledge to make your will sincere or passionate. The extension of knowledge consists in the investigation of things. When things are investigated, knowledge is extended. Okay? When knowledge is extended, the will becomes sincere. When the will is sincere, the mind is rectified. When you become kind of passionate about something, you set your mind on certain things. Certain things are important, certain things aren't important. You filter things out. So you become a bit more focused. That's what they're saying here. The mind is rectified. So to me, that means focused. When the mind is rectified, the personal life is cultivated. You grow your personal life, right? When the personal life is cultivated, the family will be regulated, right? So if you want to change your wife, you want to change your kids, you want to change your people around you, well, you can't. You got to work on yourself first, right? And then by extension, it gives them the opportunity to change as well. So you got to change yourself first, right? So the family is regulated. When the family is regulated, then your state will be in order, right? Your province, your state, your country, as it goes out, your community is a reflection of those in it. So if you have a messed up government, well, that's because you have a messed up people that are voting in messed up people, and they do things that are acceptable because they came from the masses. So you got to change the individuals first, right? So it's easier said than done, but you got to start somewhere, right? When the family is regulated, the state will be in order. When the state is in order, there will be peace throughout the world. That's, of course, the ideal. From the Son of Heaven down to the common people, all must regard cultivation of the personal life as the root or foundation. There's never a case when the root is in disorder and yet its branches are in order. So if you have chaos in your life, you live in a chaotic country, you're upset with the economy, you're upset with the way your culture is going, in your community, in your city, in your province, in your state, in your country, you always got to start with the root. And that's the only thing that you actually can start with. So with that, we will kind of end it off there, and I will read my third resolution, right? So I got a few resolutions. The first one being, live my life intentionally for excellence. Read my resolutions every day. I got it written up on my whiteboard here behind me. But here's my third resolution: to be a learning machine, to grow each day mentally, to read daily from a multitude of good books, including, and most importantly, the Bible, the Word of God, to read from leadership books, people books, biographies of people that have fruit that I admire or just in general don't even know about, history, character development, personality styles, temperaments, and of course books on the Christian faith, because I'm a Christian. So I should learn more about my own faith, right? So to listen to audios, to talks, to seminars, to audiobooks, sermons, leadership and life audios, to better use my time when driving, preparing, eating meals, cleaning up. You can listen to a ton of things. If you're on the bus or you're driving, we call it University on Wheels. So you really got to incorporate a ton of learning. Turn off the music, turn off the talk shows, turn off the radio, and hit play on something that you will listen to that will improve you, right? So here's a couple of cool quotes. A man who does not read good books has no advantage over a man who can't read them. And a biblical thing is, applying thy heart unto instruction and thy ear unto the words of knowledge. And that comes from Proverbs 23:12. So you want to look for good knowledge, right? And as you grow your knowledge, then your passions will get formed. You will make opinions. Your opinions will change potentially. You become solidified. You become focused, and then you can start this character improvement. And then from there, all things kind of evolve. So So there you go. There's today's episode. A few minutes long, but we'll stop that there. And it's going to be great having you on board. Again, you can check out the Resolve book, plus a bunch of other books that that I will be referencing over time through my self-funded referral website link and stuff like that. That helps me out, and you get to see some of the people I get to hang out with, and why I am who I am and where I'm becoming, and some of the fruit of the character traits that I want to have are from some of the people that I'm listening to and reading and stuff like that. So good stuff. You can do it too. Doesn't matter. Journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single footstep. You got to start. So get out there, do something today. Grab a book. I'm gonna crack it open here. I always write in the beginning of my books when I started reading them, and then you write in the back when you finished, and then you can kind of, it keeps you on track, because there's times that you're supposed to read a book a month or something like that, and then you're like, oh man, it's been a year and I haven't finished this book. So, but at the same time, there's other books too that if the book is crappy, you're not supposed to finish it. Don't waste your time. But the good ones you are supposed to read and reread. So go change the world by first extending your knowledge and solidify and rectify your mind, as it says.
That's what this is. That's who we are. So you'll understand that your privileges are not for your pleasure. Your privileges are for your purpose. Your